Hey everybody, this is Brian with Bear Cards 34. Back today after a nice vacation to Yellowstone National Park. You might have seen my little video that I put out the other day. I went to Yellowstone and spent a good few days out there fishing, hiking, and just enjoying the sights. A very beautiful place. So if you ever get the chance to go there, I highly recommend it. If you've already been there, hopefully you guys had a good time as well. While I was there in the evening, I actually had a little time to read, and I just finished this book right here, Dune. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read that book, but man, I thought that was an excellent book. Just heads up, if anybody likes to read, you might want to check that one out. So today's mail day, I got this from Ed from Angry Old Man. He has an excellent channel. He's a great guy. I consider him a very good friend in the hobby. Great videos, lots of knowledge about sports cards. He's just a pleasure. So I highly recommend you check out his channel, and I would recommend subscribing if you haven't already. I know a lot of you out there already are familiar with his channel, but if not, definitely check him out. So he reached out and let me know that he was going to be sending me something in the mail, and when I returned from Yellowstone, I found that in the mail, so I'm very excited about that. I have a couple of eBay purchases to open as well, and in the end, for those of you who want to stick around, I got this championship collection from Frank Specie, and so I'm going to open that and see if we find anything. Now, these are not the greatest things in the world, but I asked JR to pick me one of these up if he was able, and he did, so I really appreciate that. So I'm excited to open it, even though I'm not really expecting much out of there. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. So these are some of the purchases I picked up. So this is just a little something I grabbed. For those of you who follow my channel, you know that I collected as a kid back in the 90s, the junk wax era. And so I like to go now onto eBay and find cards that I never had as a kid that I thought would be pretty cool. So, for example, these two right here, this is the Collector's Edge 92 prototype cards. So they made a Terrell Buckley of the Packers and Tommy Maddox of the Broncos. So you'll see the RU2 Proto. So I just thought these would be pretty cool to have. And if you notice here, it looks like there's almost a numbering. It's kind of faded. But I know that the actual cards themselves, whether these are legit numbers or just kind of giving a prototype feel, because normally they're a little easier to read, but I think they printed 100,000 of each card, and they were each serial numbered. So anyway, kind of nice to have those just for fun. Next up, this is one I just purchased. I'm hoping it's all right. I paid very little for it. The shipping cost more than the card itself, but so I'm hoping it's not damaged. Let's take a look. All right, so it's kind of sticking out a little bit at the top right there, if you can see. So a little disappointed with the packaging of it. Luckily, this is not a super valuable card, but considering that I spent more for the shipping and handling than I did for the actual card itself, I would have liked. So you can see it's actually damaged in the corner. I don't know if that picks up, but that corner is damaged. And yeah, like I said, it's not a super valuable card. They didn't even put it in a penny sleeve. They just kind of threw it in here, didn't tape it up. So it's a little disappointing, but this is an undrafted tight end from BYU. I like to collect players who make it in the pros, or even if they don't make it in the pros, but look how easy this is to do. Oh, that would have been nice. Anyway, even though he's undrafted, he's one of the people that is basically considered a real potential for making the team. Just a couple dollars for the card, so fair enough. No harm, no foul, really. But I'm hoping that he can make the Las Vegas Raiders team. Nice to get his auto. And just to kind of, I know that Silver Sports, Chuck and Ed, those guys, they actually pulled one of his autos. And, it kind of shows what's nice about the hobby is there's a little something for everyone, because they got his auto and were just bummed out. Whereas I saw it and I thought, oh, hey, that guy was really good. And I will tell you, he had a lot of pro prospects, considered one of the top tight ends in the country, and then he got injured before the season started, and he was out the whole year. So Zach Wilson, who was the number 2 pick by the New York Jets, that was one of his key targets a year earlier, but he was not available for last year. But if he's fully healthy, I could see him really making an impact at some point. Okay. Next card I purchased off eBay is this one right here. This is a Ricky Williams Proline Portraits, and this is one of the certified autographs. In the packs, when you would get these, they would autograph them on the back. This card was super, super cheap. I wasn't looking to buy it. In fact, he actually wrote to me as a rookie. He wrote me back and sent me some autographs. But I just thought, it was only a couple dollars. Really liked him, so I thought I would go ahead and purchase that card. All right, next up, we've got something that is very secure. It's kind of the opposite of the Matt Bushman card, I would say. Oh, there we go. So this is a 1973 Utah Stars Ron Boone PSA Mint 9. Ron Boone played for the Stars and the Utah Jazz. So he's a very popular player and TV radio personality here in Utah. Still is. He does the radio games here with David Locke. And so I was really happy to pick up this card. Utah Stars, they were part of the ABA. And then again, yeah, he went on to play for the Utah Jazz for a little while as well. So always nice to get some of those vintage cards. And we've got one more. Got this from Gem and JD Sports Cards. Some of you guys may know him and them. All right, so you guys can check them out right here. All right, and this is just a little something for my PC. Again, another Utah player, one of the greats. This is number 53 of 89 from National Treasures. Steve Smith from 2015. And I just thought it was a nice little numbered card at a very good price. So I decided to pick that up as well. All right, now, like I mentioned before, Ed from Angry Old Man had let me know he had something for me, which is just very thoughtful. Obviously, Ed, you did not need to do that, but it's very, very much appreciated. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we've got in here. So let's go ahead and check this out. And your guys' guess is as good as mine as to what this is. Nicely packaged and put together. Very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we've got here. Hello, Brian. I hope that you are doing well. I picked up this card in a purchase and thought it would be better in your collection, especially as a... Oh, my word. Game-worn Walter Payton. Ed, I don't even know what to say. I didn't know this card existed. I have wanted a jersey card of Walter Payton for I can't even tell you how long. I am in... I don't even know what to say. This is... Wow. Wow. That is fantastic. Wow. Ed, thank you so much. I'll tell you what, though. This is very, very thoughtful of you. And, wow, this just made my day. That's right there. That is an authentic game-worn jersey of my all-time favorite player, my sports hero, Walter Payton. You've just received a card that contains a piece of an authentic game-worn uniform. This uniform was worn by Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears. Well, this is now part of my Chicago Bears Hall of Fame collection. That's one of my new favorite cards. So, wow, Ed, thank you. Okay. I picked this up in a purchase and thought that it would be better in your collection, especially since you are a Bears fan and a Walter Payton. Just wanted to say thanks for being a great member of the card community. Keep up the great videos. All the best. Ed from Angry Old Man. Wow. Well, that I'm genuinely speechless. I love this card. I will forever be thankful for you for doing that for me. That was unbelievable. I mean, I just almost want to end now because nothing can top that. Nothing will top. That was absolutely fantastic. I'll go ahead and rip this, but we're going to look at this. That's just fantastic. That is awesome. Again, this is a great example to me of the awesome people in this community, because I know we can look at some of the stuff in the community and get a little discouraged. The robot sales of everything online, the fights and the craziness at, trying to pick up retail at Target, etc. But then you have stuff like this where you've got people in the community who have a genuine love for cards and build friendships and just go out of their way to share with others. And that's what we're seeing. This is a great example of that. So I just want to say a big, big thank you again to Ed, and for all those like Ed who are out there in the community, building up the community, building up others, putting out great videos and content like Ed does. So thank you again. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm not sure the best way to go about with this. Okay, so this is kind of what we're expecting. We've got one hit, and then we've got a Leaf from 2018, then some Leaf 2020s, and Draft hit and Premiere. Now here's what I am going to do. I'm going to open this one. This one looks a little nicer than the others. We're looking for Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, I guess, Nick Bosa, some of those guys. And let's go ahead and see what we get in this one, and then I'll open up the little plastic box on the other side, and I'll finish up with these for those of you who want to stick around, but then if you don't, that's okay too. Ryan Finley, Brian Burns, Davis Koppenhaver, Nick Bosa, all rookie, Terrell Hanks, Hjalti Froholt, Deebo Samuel, Chase Vinovich, Myers, Jacoby Myers, and then a Mike Weber Jr. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll open this. And like I said, anybody who wants to stick around after, you're welcome to. So we've got a Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, McDowell, Stewart, Dalvin Cook, Scott, McKinley. Those are pretty rough right there, guys. Holy cow. So we're looking for 7 factory sealed packs and then 7 assorted cards. So again, that's why I mentioned I wasn't like holding my breath on something like this. It's very rare that you're going to find anything super good in these. But if you're Zach Moss, Utah. But if you're looking just for, something to open, if you're starting out in the hobby, or, like I know for a fact that as a kid, Joe Burrow with the yellow or gold, whatever you want to call it. But as a kid, I would have really liked opening stuff like this. So there's a place for it. However, it's not exactly Herbert yellow, not exactly high end. Although I guess probably this one is, right? Not really. But again, there is a place for it. It can be kind of fun. Jonathan Taylor. And honestly, anytime I pull, players who were part of the Chicago Bears or played in Utah, or, even just there, getting the Herbert, the Burrow variation color, it's still kind of a nice, kind of fun. All right. AJ Terrell, Dylan, Patrick Taylor, Jerry Jeudy, and that's kind of a cool little card. Joe Burrow Trophy Room. And then the last one, 2018 Draft, Leaf Draft. All right, last one. Baker Mayfield, All-American. I wonder how the Browns are going to do this year. On paper, they look pretty good. I'd like to see them do well. That's one of those teams that, had a rough go for a while there. Some heartbreaking losses back when I was a kid. And then left, came back into the league, and have kind of struggled. So it'd be nice if they can do well. All right, so again, Ed, this was amazing. I am thrilled to have it. You know, just to know that Peyton wore that in a game makes my day. Thank you all so much for watching, taking the time out to check out my latest video. I'll be back with more videos in the future. Everybody take care, and go Bears.